Do successful women struggle to keep relationships?
Some of them, not all of them. Some of them do. You know, for the majority, yeah, it's difficult. I think women in general, sex has nothing to do with it. I think in general, women have a difficulty to keep relationships. Success just maybe add to the difficulty of staying in a relationship because you meet with resistance with men, some men and not all men, when a woman has money, and some of it could be related to her attitude. It could be related to how she acts. Some of it could be related to the man insecurity about her having her own money and really not needing them for anything. You know, some couples struggle with that, period. So it doesn't matter whether she's successful or not. I just find women in general are struggling with keeping relationships. And money, I think, just adds to the problem, if especially if it's an insecure man that you're getting involved with. And most successful women struggle finding successful men that are secure financially with her having her own money, you know, but she usually don't meet the criteria for what he wants because he have his pick of the litter. So yes, it's a struggle when you have a little money on top of being a woman. But I think it's just a struggle with women in general keeping relationship today.
Well, women think just because you have money, I say this, man. A lot of women think that, man, um, the success in money means that you get to choose from a different pool of men, and that's not the case. That's
Hmm.
not the case at all. Um, you hear this thing that women say, "Well, it ain't nothing out there. The men are garbage or whatever."
The
No,
dating pool is trash. Hmm.
no, that's an easy way to go.
Hmm.
That's a simple way to go. How about if all the men you are meeting only want to sleep with you or they're no good, then that tells you where the men that you like, where they rate you at and what they rate you as. Now, I'm not going to say other men don't look at you in a different way and say you might uh be wife caliber, but the men that you choose in the dating pool that you're choosing to dip down into, they don't see you as a married a wife or a woman that they want to be with long term.
Well, that's because when you're a successful woman, it puts you in a different room. So I mean, there's other rooms that you can go in. So you can actually go into the room with successful men. So it opens the door for you to be there, but it does not mean that you will be what they want to wife up. It puts you in a different, it gives you the ability to be in a different setting with different type of men. It doesn't guarantee you that those men will find you attractive or find you as somebody they deem as wife material. But being successful and having money will put you in a room with a different class of men. So it can change the level of men that you're around, because you will get to be around more successful men. It doesn't mean that they will view you as wife material or view you any different than they would any woman that they want to sleep with, because they're just as successful or even more successful than you. So it's difficult to be in those rooms. So if you're a successful woman and you only want to be around a certain class of men, there's a lot that comes along with that. So if you made six figures and you in the room with men that make six figures, you might have some problems because there's a lot of women that want to be in those rooms. Some women who ain't successful is in that room. So that room is kind of overpopulated
Yeah, I mean,
because you got pretty fine women that has nothing to offer but their body in that room. Then you have other successful women in that room. So there's too many people trying to crowd into that room.
you hear this thing, women will say that I'm beautiful and successful.
Hmm.
Okay,
So that's the double whammy.
you might be beautiful and you might be successful.
Hmm.
But that doesn't mean I'm looking at you as a woman that I would want to be my wife over for the future.
Hmm.
It doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean the guys that's in the room see you like that. Yeah,
Correct.
they might see you beautiful, but they might thinking like, why would I want to put up with that?
Hmm.
Why would I want to have an overbearing woman? Because number one, they see you as okay, you're successful. So you had to claw, you had to fight, you was amongst lions, tigers, and wolves.
Hmm.
Most men don't want their woman to have to claw and fight to be around lions, tigers, and wolves because they know that that can't be turned off in most cases, or it's
Hmm.
very difficult to turn off that type of energy, and they just don't want it. They think that it's just not worth it. They might think that yeah, you beautiful and you're smashable, but I'm not finna be around you on a daily basis having to push and pull and tug with you. No. Now, I'm not gonna say some men won't do it. There's a market for men that will,
Hmm.
but most of the time, y'all don't play. Y'all don't want to deal in that type of market. Y'all want to be right where you are in the room where you are because you done got successful and you think that your work makes it where you deserve to be in that room.
Well, I think there's some men in that room that are strong enough. I think those some men in there, if they like you and they're attracted to you, they're attracted to you, and your money don't matter. Because if you're in a room and say you're a millionaire, but you're in the room with billionaires, that billionaire might not care how much money you make. Your money don't matter to him at all. So I like you. I see you as somebody I potentially could be with. Because not all successful women have, carry that masculine um energy with them. Some of them are very feminine, and they can be in a room with a man, and those type of men, because believe it or not, they already understand how difficult it is to get there. So some successful women know how to turn it off and on. And some are successful not because they had to claw and bite through it. Some are successful because of generational wealth, because it was passed down to them. And they just happen to be successful women. And so, of course, they're very feminine, soft women, but they just happen to have money because daddy and grandpa left it for them. And so they tend to be able to get with some of those men. Those men know them, they know their pedigree, they know how they got their money. So they're willing to take a chance with those women because those women don't have those masculine tendency, because they didn't have to fight for the money, they didn't have to claw for the money. The money is there at their disposal, and so they have a different
Wait a
personality.
minute. Uh, I guess we'll have to. A better question
Hmm.
would be, uh, if you inherit money, does that count as being successful?
Yeah, yeah, you successful.
I guess you successfully were born to,
Yep,
into
you
money. I
successful because you
mean,
could lose it.
I
You
don't know.
can lose it.
I don't know if that's
Yeah, you got to
success.
maintain it.
That's
That's success.
inheritance. You are
Yeah, your
freaking
inheritance. Look at the
what they
WalMarts.
call
That
that.
that's success, but you still inherit that, and you still have a responsibility to the family wealth so that you can pass it down. So if you be the one to mess it up, then y'all no longer are successful. So yeah, there's an obligation. There's a bigger obligation when you come from successful parents. Look at, you know, uh Blue Ivory. She got her own money in her own right now. You know, doing her own things, making movies, dancing. Yeah, it's bigger.
I'm thinking, man. I don't know if that's. I mean, constant. I guess constant. I would have to say that's women with money.
Hmm.
I guess that would be the category I would put her in, or a person that inherit money. I don't know about successful.
But
Like,
they start their own businesses. They start their
no, no,
own
you said a
things.
woman that inherit the money.
Yeah, but she still have to keep up the business and stuff. She still is successful because it was handed down, but she still has to run the business. She has to be a part of it
Well, it didn't say nothing about a business. It said that inherited the money.
from her family's business. That's what I was saying.
That's what you
Those
meant.
women are still successful.
I mean, yeah, that I would guess that would be constituted. But I'm thinking if you are inheriting money and you have it, then that wouldn't make you successful. That just means you just got an inheritance, which would change your attitude altogether. It don't
Sometimes,
necessarily
and
make you
sometimes
soft.
not. Sometimes not. Some of those women are very bratty.
Yeah,
extremely bratty.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I don't know, man. I don't think, but I guess the telltale sign is if you 40, 45, 50 years old and you can't hold down a man and you keep being in them rooms, then guess what? It ain't
Well,
on the men, it's on you.
because the room is overpopulated. What you think you're gonna do? You can be in a room with men who have less. If it's overpopulated, which most rooms that women go in is overpopulated.
Overpopulated how?
It's a lot of women and just a few men. Especially if you're looking for a good one. You're looking
But
for one that's
but
trying
you
to marry you up.
but you're supposed to be successful. Success supposed to mean that you work your ass off to get a certain place, so you should have the the money, the status, and the man.
Not necessarily. That pool is crowded.